Hey everybody, this is my final project. It is a WordPress website installed in a virtual machine. I've done a couple of test posts. Of course, there's the basic installation one, test 2. Sorry, not really original. This one was a little bit of fun that I had. It ties into another plugin that I'll get into and explain with you for in a second. So it is one that allows you to have a little bit of control over how YouTube shows up on your website. So I'll click this right now, and you'll see how it jumps right to a YouTube page, and you click play. And I won't bore you guys with the rest of all that Star Trek stuff. I like Star Trek a lot, but I know that probably 75% of the public or more, it's not their thing. They're probably more into The Walking Dead or Game of Thrones. So I'll go back. So I'll get back into some of the nitty-gritty. So let's go to the dashboard. Okie doke. So we have some of our plugins here. Let's see. Little rusty with this. Okay, installed plugins. And the installed plugin that I was using to have a little bit of control over how YouTube appears on my website is Smart YouTube Pro. Click right here, and it's pretty easy to use. So the instructions right here say, in order for the plugin to work, you must change the pasted URL to either HTTPV or HTTPVH for HD video. It helps make posting YouTube videos onto your website a lot more easy. Now, I haven't done CSS in a while. I grew up in the 90s. I was making web pages, gosh, I think in 97, 98. So the one thing that was drilled into my head before my interest went in other places was old school HTML. So doing divs and CSS isn't something that I remember exactly. I did a lot when I worked at ad agencies, but it's not permanently ingrained yet the way some of the old school HTML stuff is. But that'll come back to what I wanted to show you on the website. So I have this saying, click the picture below to make it load up a custom way. You don't see any of the custom YouTube widgets right there. There's some other functionality options with it that haven't quite worked yet, but it might be because this Linux build is a little bit older, and I'm guessing some of the software is on it too, and YouTube might be fighting back against this plugin. I haven't had enough time to really try and figure out what's wrong with it yet, but hopefully I'll learn someday. Web development is an important part of being in business, and I think that just knowing the basics of HTML, CSS, and so on, if you go to work in a ad agency or even a IT company that might handle some of its marketing stuff in-house, is valuable. And I'll show you how that tied into how the post works. So let's go to all posts. Let's go to my Star Trek test. And this used to say HTTPS. And I'll show you what happens when I change the V to an S. Let's do update. Then we'll do preview changes. And see, it just shows like not even a link. But let's change it to V, update, preview changes, loads up again. Back to the old school format. So WordPress gives you quite a bit of power when you use plugins, and a lot of really cool websites out there take advantage of it. There are some pretty expensive website platforms out there, like car dealership platforms, and some of the newer ones are allowing the clientele to have some more power. You used to have to buy very expensive websites that didn't have updates on a frequent basis. This is one I'm familiar with. Mohawk Honda right here. May not be loading as quickly as it should because of virtualization, but this is a website that does millions and millions of dollars of business a year. It doesn't seem like it's quite working as well as it should. Normally there's a video playing right there. But this is a really top-of-the-line e-commerce site. So anybody who's watching this, I'm trying to instill into you the value of learning how to use this platform, because if you have a client that you do business with, or if you're just trying to get your own business off the ground, if you decide to do a network and system administration-based business or IT business, this platform can really help you drill home a lot of money. But anyhow, enough of that tangent. go back into the back end right here, and let's see. I'll go to plugins again. Let's see, install plugins. One thing I was able to try out was installing the WP optimized one. This is one that I just came across. I haven't had much time to play around with it, but I'd recommend something like it. It can help you take care of a big backlog of spam. It can help just get rid of a lot of junk and help your overall website performance. Getting spam is something I dealt with a long time ago. It's not fun if you don't have a tool to do with it. But if you install something that deals with spam on your website, if you ever get hit, if a WordPress countermeasure against spam doesn't work, having something that's a second line of defense or a second strike, if you're a second strike capability, I'll say if you're a political science or history major, is something that's definitely a must. And go back to the website just to recap. I changed it from the default theme. It's this nice blue one. Nothing really crazy. But the thing I like the best about WordPress is it's pretty easy to change around the themes. So let's go to themes right here just to show how easy it is. Just the way it was really so easy to change the layout of the YouTube video by changing an S to a V and vice versa. Let's see. So I click activate this one. Let's see what happens. Then let's go back to the home page. Easy as that. So, I think there's a lot of value in this. If you want to change your website the seasons, let's say you want to have a summer theme or winter theme, or maybe a 4th of July theme if you go the e-commerce direction, or a special sales theme for a certain sale at a certain time of year. There's a lot of value in this, but you see how easy it was just at the click of a button to change something. Now, there's a lot more work that goes into this with getting the functionality of how the layout works. You would probably want to hire a web developer if that's not your forte to do that, but WordPress is pretty good. You can find people to do this pretty easily, or you can hire somebody on a website like Fiverr. But I hope that you guys enjoyed this. I had a pretty fun time installing this, and in a weird way, I think that as many command lines as there were installing this, I felt like it was easier than maybe doing this on Windows. I've installed WordPress in the past without using Linux, and I've just found the whole process to be a lot more seamless. All right, hope you guys enjoyed my information. I hope you have a good morning, good afternoon, good evening, or good night, wherever you are and whenever you're watching this.